What's going on, YouTube? Mike Anderson here with the 1% Solution and Living Motion Monograms. And welcome, one and all, everybody to the stream. I really appreciate you guys being out here. Well, guess what? We're back, and today kind of marks the start of us having fun with some Arkaos. That's right. Arkaos has a few pieces of software that I use, and I basically want to get into quite a bit more of the creating those tutorials for you guys, and at least showing you some of the features that this software has available to you. Because I've always, for the past, when was it? God, trying to think. When did I first present Arkaos? When did I start using it? I'll have to look back and see when I bought the program. But I started using it and for doing monograms, and just using it for video. And I've in the 1% Solution series and volume 5, I always talked about how it was basically like a media player on steroids, and still to this day, it keeps taking them because it just keeps getting better and better and better. So I want to welcome you guys to the live stream today. We're going to be covering one of the subjects here, and that subject is going to be transitions. So I appreciate all of you guys being here. Hopefully, let's go and check our live chat, make sure we got everybody nice and happy over here. I haven't had a chance to pull this up yet. So Mr. Ryan Funk, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. What do I want? You're first. Yes, Ryan, you win rights to the you were in charge of the live chat. You and Howie both. So I appreciate you guys being here. Howie Darkster is here with us today as well. All right. So for those of you joining us, how many of you guys are actually already have Grand VJ, whether it's Grand VJ or Grand VJ XT? And some people get a little confused. They're not sure what's the difference. And really, let me see if we can position this. I'm in the main studio this time, but I'm discombobulated because I've switched around my monitor configuration, and it's weird. Like, everything's all messed up. I kind of got the office stream area all set up, but this one I've got kind of messed up, and I haven't had a chance to change those. Plus, of course, I have lighting that just decided to die on me as we went into the stream, so I have like no front light. It's a horrible moment when you realize you just don't have the light to make you not look dead. So let's fix something real quick here. So DJ Sean's here. Says he doesn't use it yet, but he's looking at the options. That's awesome. I know. Yeah, Ryan has it. He uses it. Ryan, what do you think? What is it that you use it for? Do you use it for like video production? Do you use it for doing just monograms? Or what have you found uses for with Grand VJ? Because I'll be honest with you, I started using it to do monograms, but I keep just finding different things to use it for, and it's not that I find new stuff to use it for. I just go, oh, well, I got to do this event, and I got to do this at this event. I wonder, can I accomplish that with Grand VJ? And I end up, well, yeah, we can do that. That works. So, all right, let's see here. There goes my green screen. Okay. I don't want to be a distraction for you guys here. So I might as well just get it done in the beginning. Hey, and while we're doing this, do me a favor, guys. We're gonna I'll just kick on some. I want to kick on some background, and tell me, if you don't mind, tell me of how loud that is compared to my voice. I just want it in the background. Last time I tried to do a little track, and it didn't want to. Let's see. We'll bring it down to here. and it didn't even show up in this. It didn't even, the sound didn't even show up in the stream, which might be a good thing. But I want to do something just in the background for those silent moments. But let me know how the sound compared to my voice. I want it low enough to where it's just in the background. And then one last change here. All right. Hopefully you guys are having a great morning today. All right, we'll give that a shot. All right. You don't hear anything but my voice. All right, well that makes sense. Let's try and make some adjustments. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so loud in my headphones. I don't understand why. Systems. Yeah, well, if we don't have any background, it's not the end of the world. We can figure it out later, I'm sure. All right, we'll bring this up a little bit there. Yeah, I'd love to find out if you guys can actually hear any of that. Yeah, it's more annoying than anything for me. Okay. So I just want to dive right into this. I want to give you guys this content. This is let's flip over here to our start screen now. The cool thing about this is that we're just going to go over some of these transitions, and we could always set up our I have ways of setting this up to where we can see everything, but since we're going over transitions, I'm just going to show you guys in our preview window here in the top right. And usually when we switch videos, kind of by default, if we've got some kind of effect going, we've got our look like this. We've got our EQ happening here in the corner, and it just kind of starts and stops. Well, the big thing with Grand VJ is that any of these are basically our cells, and how easy it is to be able to kind of populate these. You can do it in a couple different ways. First off, we've got our file. We can go over here to the left side, and we've got our file section here, and this is kind of our core or root core. So this is actually just our system, and here you can follow this down. Like I say, monograms. I've got my different things set up: alpha channel clips, motion loops, and if I click on something over here on the left side, it's just going to show me basically a preview. It's not going to start it up on our main output. But to give you an idea, the surface over here on our right, top right, if you can see right above me, whoop, that is basically what is being projected. What you would be having, what you would put on the wall, and everything else right down here, whoo, all the way that way. No, that okay, there we go. All the way to that end of the screen. This is hard. I need a bigger camera so I can reach over there. We're gonna have to build a giant green screen studio. This is basically our preview player. And so we can go through our files, kind of see what we like. And the thing I love about this is that Grand VJ works with nearly any video format. You can see here, I've got QuickTime files that have alpha channels, which means that it'll basically, the alpha channel is preserves no backdrop to the file. So like this is an alpha channel. This MOV file here, this has an alpha channel so that, you know, this checker box is translucent. So if I grab this file and I drag it on top of one of my cells, Now I can click on this, and as you guys can see, it appears over my last layer. Now, I believe, make sure. Okay. And the other thing when you're layering things like this, we're going to go into some of the other features, but the thing I love about this is that you've also got priority here, and this is under the visual tab in the middle. So I can assign priority. Like this is just, if I wanted this as a translucent cover, we're going to do something better. Let's go with like a like this. This is okay. This is a logo. I'm going to turn all this off. So the YouTube here. Okay, let me assign this. I have a bunch of outputs available. I just need surface one. I'm actually going to have to do that with a lot of these. And I'm not going to go into explanation on a lot of this other stuff that I might be doing as far as like surfaces, and because we're going to be covering that, I want to give you guys some core stuff, kind of a piece at a time, so that you can be able to reference the video and just go back to, you know, learn about transitions and stuff. So. All right. And of course, as we go through this, if you guys have questions you want to ask, go ahead and make sure you toss them in there in the live chat. I'm going to be answering them throughout the stream. Isaac, welcome to the live stream. Randy just joined us. How you doing, buddy? All right. So if we have a background, let's say this is our background. We can actually set our background as far as our priority under the visual tab and say, make it a background priority. And then if we got a logo or a design or something that we want to use, then we can go ahead and be able to click on that file and have it show up. But depending on the order you click on things, if I go ahead and activate another, or this one again, we've already got that prioritized. So if we click on this one, all of a sudden it covers up our logo. That's something we don't want to happen. So our background videos, we want to set a priority. So it could have no priority. It could have a background priority, which means it would always be foreground priority would always take precedent over our background images. So then now when I activate this, it always shows up just in the background. And let's go ahead and make this a little bit better. Resize this, make this smaller. And for those of you who don't have the program, you're just kind of checking things out. Hopefully I won't get you too lost on some of this stuff you might see me doing. But like I said, we're gonna cover transitions today. We're gonna go over some of the cool features that it can do. And so we've got, let's cover our videos here. Yeah. All our friends in the live chat. Hey, if you is there a site? Isaac says, is there a site where I get backgrounds? Yeah, I've purchased and kind of collected over the years the from a couple different sites. Real quick, if you're in the live chat, do me a favor, tell me if do you guys actually hear any music at all? At all in the live stream? Just curious, real quick. But there are a couple services I've used in the past. I originally started with like video blocks, and it used to be where they're paid service. Yeah, if we can't hear the audio or the music, I'm gonna have to work on another player just so we can get something in the background. But for now, We're going to kill that because it is loud and annoying and I won't be able to hear you guys' alerts. But the services I've used Video Blocks, and originally like the paid service itself would almost entail pretty much almost every video that they had. Now, the catch to that is that it slowly transitioned, slowly changed, and now you can do the paid subscription. You get a ton of stuff. They've got a lot of HD, really good quality clips. I think it's still worth it. And it's like $100 a year or something. But now they host a lot more images and videos and available stuff that you have to pay more for. And it's pretty darn expensive. I also use Beehive. Or was it? I think I'm totally getting that wrong. I will Beehive. It's not Beehive. Yeah, it's yeah, we're using bees. No, it's Videohive. Is another one that I use quite often to find and get those clips. So you know, take a look at those, and they usually have some really good stuff as well, and you can kind of purchase some pretty low cost. They've also got other stuff like templates and music and stuff you can purchase for use. Works out really well. So let's get into our transitions, and I'm going to put up a couple different clips here. So we've got just a general background, and usually like if I click on another one, it just pops up. And what we want to do is be able to not just have it flash. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually just do one of two ways of doing this. First, we got to, right in the middle here, we've got our transitions tab. We can always click on that and flip through our transitions. The other thing we can do is on the left side, we've got the tabs over here. So we've got effects, we've got transitions. Effects will be something we're going to cover next week. And kind of how to use it, end up using those. And as we click on, the cool thing about this panel here is I can see what these transitions are going to do before they actually implement them. So if we are live at an event, we don't have to take the risk of trying to make those changes where everybody's going to see. But you can see here, I got some really, really cool ones. And the first thing I'm going to show you guys is something that we use quite often, and that's just linear fade. And all you do is you can grab that line, and we're going to toss it right on top. And now every time we click, you'll see the name change up here. Every time we click on this, it's going to do a fade. Just a nice slow fade. Now, cool thing is that we can extend this. So a lot of times I'll end up doing, like, you can extend a 2-second fade. We can go up to 10 seconds on this one. And depending on the effect we're using as far as our transition, there are some other elements that we can actually control as well. So now it takes 2 seconds to go from one to the next. And that's about it. So thanks you guys for joining the stream. We'll see you guys later. No, it's not it. Basic fades, really easy to do. You can do that with most programs. But let's check out some of the other ones that, and these are, regardless of whether you're using Grand VJ or Grand VJ XT, these are all of these are in both programs. Some people are confused about the difference, and the true difference between Grand VJ and Grand VJ XT is that Grand VJ XT has the mapping plugin. So if you want to do create multiple screens on one surface, there's a couple different ways to do it, even just in Grand VJ. But if I'm to say mapping a wedding cake and I want to create multiple screens and have all those screens connect together to create one video, then that's where you start to use Grand VJ XT. It's just has a lot more powerful features. And soon I'm doing maybe later today or tomorrow. I want to actually do a video on the release notes on what they've just updated with this new 2.4 version. There's been so many updates since I've got the program. They've all been included, which has been awesome as well. So now we've got that slow fade. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of this other stuff. Smooth. And we can just apply it here. So this one basically takes a lot longer there. It's funny because what else do I have? I want to see something here. Oh no, that's in the background of that video. Okay, it looked like I was seeing straight through it. All right, and then we got our little blinds closing. So a lot of these have some very, very cool effect. Some of these you guys are going to see in like professional video editing software. And the cool thing is that if you get to an event and the client comes up and says, all right, so here's our photos, here's what we got. You can start to practically build a slideshow. I mean, if you really wanted to, I've done this before. Okay, I've done this before. I had a best man who wanted to do a slideshow, but I was using Grand VJ at the time, and I didn't have a way of porting like PowerPoint through Grand VJ. And there are some different ways. There's also some things that are pretty incredible. Like if I go to my source tab here, I can actually grab my Logitech camera, toss it down on one of these. Catch is it's not gonna, activate just because I am currently using it in another program, so it just doesn't have access to it. But you can add cameras, capture devices, stuff like that, and input spout. We got our spouts, and there's a lot of other stuff that live generators that we're going to cover. One of the ideas that I talk to people about using their video projector for is for doing visual effects, as far as like you can use your video projector to do lighting. And how cool is it when you're able to do that? Well, I'm going to be talking with you guys about one of the plugins that this thing has that comes with. These are just things that it does actually come with. And if I wanted to activate a layer, you can see this one reacts to my voice, and it's just using the microphone on our system here, and I can control the input of this microphone, and it's just going to end up reacting that way. So a lot of these are video or basically sound reactive, so you can just use the microphone on your computer in order to do it. So check. Oh. Let's see. Like, how do you do light shows that react to music? How crazy is it that we don't have to do any programming? You know, they just came out with you know, the like lighting software that reacts to your music with your DJ software, like virtual DJ and Serato and stuff, and you have to go through and do programming, and all I do is turn the mic on. And then you have a completely different light show every single time. But we'll get back to these a little bit later. So we've got another video here. And let's go ahead and find like our still images as well. Arnaldo, thanks so much for coming and joining us here in the live stream. Yeah, Arnaldo's got a. He says he's got a plug-in. He's going to show me a little bit later. And I know they've got spouts and stuff. I'm using PC. Do they have the spout for, or the plug-in for using like your video editing software? Ian, you are tardy, sir. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to, Ian. You're gonna have to stand in the corner until you learn your lesson for being late to the live stream. Disgusting, man. Great to have you here. Yeah, Arnaldo, is is there a plugin that allows you to use like PowerPoint and stuff and basically spout it into the software. If it's PC, I know, because I mean, they've had it for a while for Mac, but I've been trying to find it for PC as well. So I pretty much use this for a lot of almost everything. So when I'm doing video montages and everything, we used to do it by, DVD player, and we just hit play when that happens. But when I'm at an event, even if they want me to play the video, I'll get it ahead of time, and I know that this software is robust enough to where it'll play nearly anything. But I always try and get the file if we can ahead of time, and be able to just toss it in here and make sure it's playing smoothly. Let's see, where's our, we can see there's our video here, but if we add a transition onto this, you can kind of see that little drooping. And we can also control the speed of these. So we're going to increase, what is this one? This one's actually called drop. So let's say we're going to go, let's go pretty extreme, 4 seconds. And as we hit it, all of a sudden that mirror ball grows. And so it depends on what you set it on. So if I want to do, say, I like some of these 3D drops as well. If I want to put it on the mirror ball itself, and for this I'm trying to use something that's got full, I want to use some of these videos that have actual full screen so that we don't miss the edges for you. Transitions, duration. Okay. And now with this, we can create that 3D transition effect. Now, some of these you can actually control the different methods, or basically the different adjustments to it. So our transition for our countdown, you can see kind of fills the screen a little bit, but it does a 3D swap. Well, let's increase this so we don't miss our details here. But you can see how it transitions between the two. We're also going to give me something else that's full screen here. That's not it. There we are. So now, I mean, it even does the, our reflection there at the bottom. See if we can make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. But now over here, we can actually create and change our radius. So if we increase the radius, that will send it farther back. Let's go even more extreme. Basically, we're on a rotation. So now one kind of disappears completely. They're not so close together. If I had if I do no radius, then you can really see these two overlap each other. A lot less space in between. What about rotation? Now, if I change rotation, let's go extreme. It goes way out there and then kind of flips before the next one comes in. Width drift. Let's make that pretty extreme. All right, so that basically creates, it makes it go way out there and then the next one comes in. Depth drift. Whoa. So now if we want to keep those in frame with each other. Nice. So that's 3D swap. Just by, again, dropping these on, now all of a sudden it flips. Next one comes in. You're creating an instant slideshow. If we had our monogram design, say this was in front, we can take our PNGs and pop it right on top. And the cool thing is with these is that even if, you can design it with a little bit of drop shadow. This one has some, and we can see it right here. I can create drop shadowing or 3D, designs. And when you put those on top of videos that are light, that have a light background like this, now all of a sudden it looks like it's part of this video. So we can always keep that in the foreground. And the key thing to this is if I've got a video that is, let's set this as background. Now, and so this will loop. This is just going to be, say this is my monogram for the night. So now we want to show a video montage, and we go into, our video. We can set this up to where it does some kind of cool transition from the monogram into the video on the wall. Something very simple, something that does a nice transition between the two. And or even if it's a still image, if we're going to go into a still image, see that one just came boop, right on. Let's pick one here. Put this on top. So cool part is just kind of figuring out what your favorites are. Some of these will be affected in different ways. Like, just that transition affects the entire video, not just the PNG file there. But if we just do a linear fade on like our monogram design, we can fade it in and fade it out. Again, we get our files, we drop our transitions right onto this, and all of a sudden it makes that great transition between the two. So no matter what the files end up being, you can they can add stuff at the event, which happens all the time, and you can make those adjustments. You can make it look like a complete professional presentation, even if they make things hard for you by waiting really, really long. Waiting a really long time or getting those to you at the last second, you still end up looking like a rock star. By doing professional transitions between the two, or if you want to make those instead of kind of flipping to the next track or going to the next file itself. So Donnie says, yeah, using a capture card from another computer. Yeah, I know that we can do capture cards like the Elgato, and you can use like Elgato and go, from a computer directly into the Elgato for doing PowerPoint. But I was hoping that if we wanted to use PowerPoint on the same system, we want to be able to use it as an input there. So let's see, we've got use a capture card from the or pull the slides from PowerPoint. Yeah, but again, a lot of times we end up using like someone else's computer. So if I just want to pull, if they might give me the PowerPoint file, I just want to be able to hand them a clicker and let them go. DJ Sean, thanks for joining us here. And Donnie, thanks for joining us here in the live chat and on stream. Shining City Music Entertainment, DJ Sean, thanks, man. So what's the okay? Ian asks, what's the pricing for Arkaos Grand VJ? You know, I would do a couple things if you guys. I wish I would have. I kind of wish I would have talked to Ben first, because sometimes they run specials and they have access to some of the discounts. They usually take really good care of Living Motion Monogram members. So if you call them and say, hey, I want the Living Motion Monograms price for the Grand VJ, it'll be a huge advantage to you. You guys are all in the family. You watching this video, just give them a call. And that's nlfxpro.com. Give Brittany give Brittany a call over there and see if she'll be able to answer those questions for you. But in that way, she can also talk to you guys about the difference between the two. I don't know what's their current price. Of course, they got their online price. And what seems to be Grand VJ? Yeah, basic, it seems pretty average, $349. Again, these are just online prices, what they're allowed to post. We got $799 for XT version. And even if you have an older version, 2.0, then the upgrades are included. So you can always upgrade that for free. And then Media Master is a whole nother beast. The thing is amazing. I'm going to hopefully show you guys soon some of the cool things. Like I can control my entire light show. I have pretty much video, light show, everything from Media Master. There's some really good plugins. Which version do you need to do basic stuff? As far as monograms, you want to layer things like this. You can do all of this if you just using one projector and creating using one projector. You want one screen up there. You can do all of this with just the basic version of Arkaos Grand VJ. You don't need the XT version, so you can go with the $349. Something else to keep in mind is the power of your computer, because it is pretty, it's intensive on two things, GPU and CPU. And some people, if you're using a laptop, you got to be pretty careful on this. Depending on the videos, the way the program kind of processes things, it's using the CPU in order to process the videos themselves, and then GPU in order to do like the mapping section of stuff. So it depends on the stress that's going to be put on your system. I'm hoping I'll be able to go into a little bit more explanation on that at a later video, because I'm also about to do a system build on components that would work, because they make media servers as well, like Arkaos does, but it's boy, they they're for like touring grade and probably a little bit out of our budget range. So yeah, Tandy probably won't work, Ian. That old Tandy 8000. Got to upgrade that thing, man. Get some more RAM for it. Which version do we? Donnie says that, yeah, you can use the mapper surface and play with slideshows, but you'll need to be able to pull it from another computer into the Arkaos rig. Yeah, and there's some spouts for it. They have spouts. Things are changing all the time, so I know there's ways of, and even Arnaldo said that he's got something on his stream. I think it's just the max spout is what he's got, but I may be wrong. I'll have to check out some of the other stuff there to be able to do that. But you can bring inputs into this, including your sources. So right at the top, we can see my webcam here. it uses a lot of the GPU graphics processing card in order to like process and create our other effects here. So, these are sources, these are media stuff. So, and they even have that comes with it. I'm going to go into like some of the text on a video next week of what you can do, because we can create, give you a little taste here. If I want to, I can create text here and it just says text. Well, guess what? These are actually Flash files. And if I want, I can change this. So now, anytime I click on this, I can have this kind of flash up. Let's go transition, duration. Bam. And they've got a ton of them in here. So you can change the text on almost all of these. I want to create something unique on the fly, on the spot. I'm able to do that just inside this program. Whole nother, like I said, a whole nother video. I'm going to be doing these in sections so that you guys can see the different features that are available with this, to see if it's right for you and see what's going to help you guys out. Give you a much, more professional rig. When I'm doing, I'll tell you this, as far as I use gaming laptops, and most of you know which, I've got an old one right now, which is the MSI GT70 is what I have. And the key to it, it's got, a dedicated graphics card built into it. So I can pretty easily run this program. In fact, regularly at events, I run Virtual DJ. I run my scripting software like Word and stuff. I have that open. On top of that, I've got Chave, Show Express running for my lights. I've got a second screen plugged into the laptop. And then I'm running 2 projectors off of the laptop as well. It's got 3 outputs on it. And it's amazing. I don't have any issues with it. It's really nice when you can combine everything like that. And I've got 1 laptop up there. Well, I've got 2 of those laptops, in case of backup. And if I'm doing some labor-intensive mapping, I'm not going to do it on the same laptop. I'm going to have my second one up there just for the mapping. And when you buy Arkaos, every license will allow you to put it onto 2. They'll let you have 2 serial codes for that license, so you can apply it to your 2 computers, one for backup, one for your main, which is really nice. We can see some of these other effects, but yeah, it would take an entire stream to go through some of these and show you guys. But the main thing, our transitions make things, instantly look a lot more professional. For when we're adding, you can, add photos, JPEG images, whatever you want, and be able to transition between the 2, and makes for a really, really cool effect. And just makes you look like a rock star for not being a distraction from transitioning between things at the event, especially when they're like, oh wow, this must take a lot of time. Yeah, I gotta put all this stuff together and make this all work. Randy says, can you start with Grand VJ and then upgrade it later to XT for the difference in the price? Yeah, they even right now. So it's like, if you say you bought it for $349, I don't know if I can actually see it here because mine might be a little different than yours. See, upgrade. All right, this is showing me I'm on the wrong. Okay, it's done that. Let me click on upgrade now. It's about it's pretty much identical because it's $349 and then the upgrade is $349. So yeah, it's like $100 cheaper to maybe. I'm looking at in euro, so I know it's wrong, but it's about the same. The upgrade costs about the same no matter what. That's what I initially did. I bought the Grand VJ, and then about 2 months later, I'm like, oh, I want more. And I end up hitting the upgrade. So, again, let's check this out. Grand VJ, ooh, upgrade. Let's see what it says. So yeah, $449 is the upgrade. And if I did, and this is just this is list price on their website. Grand VJ 2 license. So Grand VJ 2, and so it's $349 and $449, or you buy Grand VJ XT for $799. Yeah, it all comes out the same. You're good. So that's really nice of them that they allow you to do that as well. If you're doing cake mapping and stuff, the version you need is going to be Grand VJ XT. There's nothing wrong. Believe me, I encourage you. There's absolutely nothing wrong to take the time. Take your time and learn the core part of Grand VJ. Upgrade to the mapping later. Take those baby steps, man. It's people sometimes dive in so fast and so deep that they just get overwhelmed and they're like, oh my god. It's just one step at a time. Learn this and learn this. That's why I want to kind of do these in sections. And, we may have some fun on the live stream and just, goof off and showing what these different effects can end up doing. But, and what our transitions can look like, or what we can do in some sections may take a little bit long, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than others. But, I want to go over the mixing options for you guys, the positioning, how we can adjust things. Because it's pretty amazing at even just the play mode, our visuals that we see here. I talked about the priority, but I also want to get into some of the options. You can have this loop out. By default, it loops automatically, but you can also go ahead and have it, play once forward and stop, play and then play backwards. And then there's beat synchronization, another feature they just added, which is just awesome. So it's just insane. It's pretty incredible of what it can do. But look at what some of the system requirements are, and look at your laptop and see what it is you're running on it. Because I also don't want I also don't want you guys to try and run this software on your 10-year-old HP i3 or Pentium 2. So the requirements to run this thing, let's see what they suggest. We've got, with our basic version here, they definitely always suggest a dedicated graphics card, so you can look up the specs on your laptop and I know Rich's style. Rich like, hey, dive in both feet. No, I agree with you. I think I do that too, on a lot of stuff. Sometimes it gets me in trouble as far as, wow, I bought all this stuff and I'm not gonna have time to learn this. So, Ian makes another great point, and one of the big main things with Grand VJ, the basic version is the Keystone. It's pretty amazing. Like, I might have to restart this for you guys, but let me go into preferences. I'm gonna go back to instant mode. Instant mode is just regular Grand VJ. I'll go ahead and save that, and it's gonna restart, and I'll show you the Keystone feature and how ridiculous it is. So again, we're going to be doing the basic version here that fires up. So just regular Grand VJ. The mapper mode has a lot more options, but let's go into our preferences now. So to activate something here, position. So now we don't have our, hey, output. And just all we got our full screen. And let's go ahead, go into preferences. And for here, we got to actually select. And now this will let us do like all connected devices that are connected to this, video card. The cool thing is like you can, if you're doing a tower and you want to, if you do 2 video cards, you can have on board. You can see we've got my 4K Samsung and my 2 Asus screens here that I got set up here in the studio. And if I want to do all, it's going to black out and cover all of them. But you can, if you have a designated video card and you want to connect those 2 displays to that card, you can actually create the 2 projectors even out of the same video card and then tell it multi-monitor arrangement. And I can go use custom resolution. I can tell it how I'm stacking these projectors. It doesn't let you do a whole lot of blending as opposed to the other ones, but looks pretty incredible. It looks pretty incredible. Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys is just our Keystone. And again, you get to the event, you set up, you show our files, and all of a sudden now it looks funky. Well, we can fix that. So here's wide open, and I'll want to grab a corner and change it. And again, visually, we're going to be seeing it a little bit different in the when we're actually projecting it. So in the software, you can just grab the corner and look at what you're doing that's coming out onto the wall. So that's just the basic Keystone. That lets you do it once. Sorry, do it once on this, and then you just hit OK, and it saves those changes. And then with the XT or Grand VJ XT, it just has a ton, we have almost unlimited mapping capabilities. So yeah, it's pretty darn incredible. Next thing I'm definitely gonna, a couple things we're gonna talk about next week, and I'm gonna be doing quite a few more of these and talk about each feature on this. But we're gonna talk about effects next week. We're gonna talk about the mixing, and I'll be posting those very, very soon, a little schedule for you guys so you can see those. And we're probably going to do these in the morning like this. So hopefully a lot of you guys are able to join us, a lot more people in the morning here. And if you don't get a chance to see it, you'll be able to see it on demand just right here on the channel. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You guys will be featured right here on the stream if you do it during the stream. And you'll see your little names and everything pop up right here at the top, and we crossed over that 600 mark overnight, so which was really, really nice. I appreciate everybody and their support. We're going for that 1,000 mark, hopefully in the next 20 days. We're pushing, we're trying to make it. But thank you guys all for coming out to the stream. If you got any questions, you can always leave them in the comment section below, and I will get to those and answer those for you. Hey, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for coming out. Take care, guys.